EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live third-round coverage of the Pittsburgh Invitational. Excellent-looking shot here.
That's beyond long.
That is a sensational play right there, and you have to think that the little helping breeze gave that a nice boost.
He can't be that good.
Just a case of a hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today.
Oh, and it gets a good kick. It's only in the first cut.
That's
not too bad.
Frank, I like the way he sort of starts his swing a little bit on the outside and then drops it right on plane. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Well, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
That's about as depressing a moment as there is in golf. When you miss the bogey putt, you know you're staring at double.
It's no snack, though. Unfortunately, all those shots in hand, that double bogey should be erased.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. This hole's been good to him. Birdie yesterday, and trying for another one today.
It's a cruel game.
Good effort and good par putt. So here we are at the third hole, par 4, again 428 yards. Frank, have you ever seen anything quite like the bunkering that we have here on the left side of this hole?
No, the church pews, they're famous obviously for Oakmont, and they have that tendency to drag your eye to that left side. Really, you hit anything that you can get off on the fairway off this tee, whether it's a long iron, I don't care what it is. If you want to try and hit driver down there, well, good luck, because this really is about the second shot. Somehow avoid that trouble there so you've got a second shot.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round. Frank, we have said it over and over. Another birdie. For those of you just tuning in, we're checking in now on our featured golfer here at the fourth. Frank, what's happening early in this third round? Doesn't look good.
No, it's a shocker, Rich. It really is. There's nothing like we saw the first 2 days. A series of mistakes just compounding one after the other. Really right now, talk to the caddy, talk to somebody, talk to someone in the crowd. You've got to change things around.
Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5, his second shot.
In the direction of the sand.
And looks like it. Oh my goodness, that could have been really bad.
Could you imagine if that kicks towards the bunker?
Yesterday, now for birdie. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Has it. We're at the 5th hole now. Short hole, but Frank, pretty challenging even at 382 yards.
Yeah, you've got the bunkers are staggered. The first 3 coming down the left side, and then they start to link up with the ones on the right side that just sort of narrow this fairway up. It just sort of changes the strategy. But if you can just sort of thread an iron up there, that's the main thing. Because this green is going to be very narrow in the front and then slope away to the player's left.
This hole really sets up well for the player. Birdie yesterday, and a chance for another one today. Birdie here yesterday. This putt again for birdie. Racking them and stacking them right now. 6 under par for the tournament. Frank, what's the pros' take on the first par 3 here at Oakmont, the 6th, at just under 200 yards?
Oh, it's a real beauty. Very narrow in the front. You can see how it pinches in so close. It starts to widen up, but even to try and carry that bunker on the right side, there's very few players in the world that could hit it that high and manage to stop the ball in that corner. Once again, you're trying to thread it through that avenue at the front of this green. It's a tough par 3.
Don't want to miss it right here.
No.
Wow, I thought he made that. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Nothing wrong with that par putt. All right, Frank, take us down onto the 7th hole, par 4 at 434 yards.
Another one that's just another great driving hole. Bunkers on... Oh, he's winding this one up. Does he have the power, though?
I mean, that is one of the hardest drives I have ever seen. Just let it rip.
Oh, huge. Ooh. Huge with a capital H.
Busted that. That's a good start to the hole, right down the middle. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. This has been just a pure display of ball striking all day long. Has not missed a single green, every one in regulation. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Good putt. Here at the 8th at Oakmont, a famous hole. And Frank, it's not often we say of a par 3 that it is a beast, but the 8th at Oakmont is just that.
Yeah, you can imagine a 300-yard par 3 to a flat green. That would be hard enough. But imagine a 300-yard par 3 at a US Open to a green that goes up at the front and then crowns at the top and then slips away at both sides. That's the 8th hole.
Birdie try again here today. Did a nice job with that putt. Good read, good speed. Locked in on the read and the speed. Well, that wasn't a gimme, but it sure made it look easy. Rounding out the front nine here at Oakmont, Frank, it looks to be straight away, uphill. Anything to be cautious about on this tee shot?
Well, there certainly is. Years gone by, this was a par 5 for the US Opens of yesteryear. Par 5 still for the members. And, of course, rough if you miss those. This is one of those holes, even though it's a par 4 now, you miss the fairway here, you are not reaching this green in 2.
What was he thinking there?
I have no earthly idea. Rich, I thought he could get this close.
That just is amazing. Just a mind blower right there. Absolutely incredible. He made the shot. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Wayward from the tee, and this one is headed for the rough, Frank. Ends up in the first cut, and he'll have a pretty good look at the hole location from here. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Well, that's what separates the good players from the great players. The ability to get it that close from that kind of lie. Just continuing to play some really good golf. 8 under par for the championship. Frank, it's only 379 yards, a par 4. You thinking birdie here at the 11th?
You would think for that distance, no, but you take 4 here. It's a stringent tee shot. The fairway doesn't really look pleasing to the eye. It looks like it moves out to the left, but that's exactly where those bunkers are. So more often than not, we see players hitting out of the right rough. And back in 1994, this is where the playoff finished with Lauren Roberts and Ernie Els.
Oh, it looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Hard putt, soft hands, beautiful putt. We are at the par 5 12th here at Oakmont. This is a big par 5 at 667 yards. Just amazing what they're able to do with that golf swing. Hit it so far at that size. Not overly big, but man, can really move it a long ways. Nice drive, right in the fairway, and a good swing on that one.
Second shot.
That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. Frank, that's what you want to do. Good lag putt.
Yeah, they can't all go in.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Well, Frank, it's our job to get excited.
You can't when you leave it short, though.
I'm sad.
He's making my job hard.
They'll take it. That's a par. Well, Frank, what about this par 3 13th? Measures 183 yards.
It has a little bit of a crescent-shaped green, but it looks like the green should shape that way, but the actual contours of the green go in the opposite direction. The only good thing about that is chances are you've got an uphill putt.
Just a beautiful approach shot. Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. Really starting to shine, moves to 10 under for the tournament. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. We're at the 14th hole at Oakmont Country Club. Frank, it's only 358 yards. How good is the scoring opportunity here?
This is certainly one of the best chances on the back nine here for birdie, that's for sure, Rich. Just a long iron off the tee there, threaded in between bunkers that adorn both sides of this fairway. To set up to what you would say on Oakmont standards is a relatively gentle green.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Safely aboard. Trying to make yet another birdie. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. All teed up at the 15th. It's a par 4 of 499 yards. Well, how about this hole, Frank? 499 yard, par 4 15th. All you want.
Oh, that's for sure. The church pews down the left. It's about 340 yards to get all the way past them, so that's not really an option. Bunkers down the right side. Really, another fairway you want to hit is a long second shot. It's a little uphill to a green that, well, just like all the others, is going to take something special.
Great effort right there, and a great chance to knock in that short putt. Didn't fare too well on this hole yesterday. Made a bogey. Just slides by.
Yeah, can't afford to miss too many of those out here today.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Takes care of business there.
Solid stroke.
Yet another demanding hole here at Oakmont. A par 3 16th, 231-yard par 3. Frank calls for a well-struck long iron.
It certainly does. It's going to favor something that's hit a little higher and a little softer. If you could just mentally cut this green in half and just sort of look at the left half of this green, that's really the best way to play this hole. And the reason why is the general contours all move to the right. That ball can still funnel down to the right side of the green. Now, just when you thought they might pick up one, now settle for a par.
It's a very makeable putt here. He is currently 5 under for his round. Well, considering the lead that he has on the rest of the field, a par is all you need. Frank, here we are at the 17th. It's only 313 yards. That's par 4, by the way. Nowadays, that could be a par 3. What's the right way to play this hole, or does it simply depend on where you are in the championship?
I think it depends on where you are in the championship. Sometimes people try and hit drivers at drivable par 4s. Believe it or not, not necessarily to make birdie, but it's the easiest option to make 4. One of the problems here at 17, if you do lay it up and the flag is on the right side, you turn it into a very, very difficult short par 4. And that's the reason why people often try and drive these greens.
Racking them and stacking them. That's 12 under par now for the tournament. Great finishing hole here at Oakmont, Frank, the 18th.
I remember back in 1994, this was the last hole in the US Open ever played by Arnold Palmer. You couldn't pick a better finishing hole to win the championship or say farewell.
Excellent drive, Frank, right where you want to be. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. That was not a very good read right there. Different day, different hole. Made bogey yesterday. He'll do better this time, it looks like. Good roll. Solid. That's a par. Frank, that front page of the leaderboard has been looking good all week.
You're exactly right, Rich. I think our winner is certainly going to come from that list right now. I'm excited for tomorrow's final round.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's the final round of the Pittsburgh Invitational.
Rich, that tee shot there has shortened up this hole considerably. It's made a tough par 4 into, well, we'll see, but it looks like a very birdieable hole now.
You hit it right where you want. Now he has a good chance to attack that whole location. On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Well, that's not the way you wanted to start out the backside here.
Yeah, you can't afford from inside 10 feet. It just, you feel like you have to make those, and I mean, they really sting when they miss.
Good putt. Settles in always with excellent posture over the ball. Drivable par 4, not for most in this field, but for this guy, yes, he has just knocked it on. What a shot. Looks like he just misread that. Locked in on the read and the speed. Came to the putt, excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in. In this situation, Rich, a bogey's not all that bad. Still has the lead.
Moving on to the third hole now. Again, it's a par 4 of 428 yards, but you can see the distinctive bunkering on the left, making this, Frank, one of the most famous holes in golf.
It is. The church pews that adorn the left side, they're no fun to be in, that's for sure, because somehow, invariably, you always seem to get behind one of those grass strips behind, and all you're left to do is punch out. I really narrowed that down. Now, this tee shot plays downhill, and then you've got to be ready for that uphill second shot. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Superb shot.
It's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. He's putt for birdie. Everybody loves him. Birdie on the card. Fourth hole now. Long par 5 at 609 yards. Wow, smoked that tee shot. Frank, still a good chance for birdie. Getting set for this third shot, pitch shot on the par 5.
Yeah, just have another look at that green, though, because you can use the slope on the green to allow that ball to run towards the flag. And that green can work in your favor.
That was just a gutsy shot right there, and a good look at eagle coming up.
No snap there.
Ooh, that hurts. Oh, man. Can't miss him from that distance. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Continues to roll the ball very well. And now the fifth hole, short but challenging par 4, 382 yards, and it obviously rewards precision off the tee, heavily bunkered along the way. Long drive, but a bad lie.
Wicked.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a masterclass in short game.
And this would be nice. 2 straight birdies. Well, you're not going to make that putt all the time, but you'd like to at least get it to the hole.
If he keeps putting like that, he's going to be an announcer in no time.
Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
A makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under par. So the double bogey won't hurt too badly as we look at the leaderboard now. Still in a good position. Frank, what's the pros' take on the first par 3 here at Oakmont, the 6th, at just under 200 yards?
Oh, it's a real beauty. Very narrow in the front. You see how it pinches in so close. It starts to widen up, but even to try and carry that bunker on the right side, there's very few players in the world that could hit it that high and manage to stop the ball in that corner. Once again, you're trying to thread it through that avenue at the front of this green. It's a tough par 3.
Don't want to miss it right here.
No.
Been this way all day. Airtight, no mistakes, solid shot.
And yet another green in regulation.
Has his par. All set here at the par 4-7. Frank, what do players need to look out for off the tee?
It's a rather intimidating tee shot there, since the trees have all been removed that used to be very, very close to this fairway. 3 bunkers down the right side, another 2 on the left. They've either got to be somehow threaded in between, or the longest hitters might just be able to squeeze it past.
Nice drive, right in the fairway, and a good swing on that one. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
That is classy.
Yeah, a chance of going in.
Frank, that is nothing more than a punch to the gut.
Oh, it's cruel, Rich. Good putt and deserves so much more. Another shot added, though.
I mean, takes the wind right out of your sails. No problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
Frank, the par 3 eighth, it will take a player's very best strike.
Yeah, it's not often you see the odd driver come out of the bag, but when a hole can be stretched out to close to 300 yards, then everybody in the field needs some heavy artillery. It's a big, long par 3. Green does feed a little bit to the left, but at that distance, no hole is easy. There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Rounding out the front 9 here at Oakmont, Frank, it looks to be straight away, uphill. Anything to be cautious about on this tee shot?
Well, there certainly is. Years gone by, this was a par 5 for the US Opens of yesteryear. Par 5 still for the members. And the reason why is it's a little bit uphill, semi-blind tee shot, bunkers left and right, and of course rough if you miss those. This is one of those holes, even though it's a par 4 now, you miss the fairway here, you are not reaching this green in 2.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
You like this one, Frank?
Oh, it's a good one. Safely on.
Just the tap in to finish the hole. That's a nice confidence builder right there. You make those for par, and you keep things steady. He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. They'll pay a little bit of a price for missing the fairway here because from that rough, you cannot control the spin on the golf ball. So in the first cut here, it could be worse. He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Green's though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Okay, no problem with that one. Pretty short hole here at the 11th. It's only 379 yards, par 4. Tugged that one a little bit offline to the left, and he'll pay a bit of a price because that rough is fairly thick. You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish, but, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play, very solid. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Continues to putt beautifully. Now at the par 5 12, 667 yards. Frank, you've played golf around the world at the very highest level. I've heard you say you think this is one of the hardest par 5s on the planet. Why?
The slope of the fairway, you don't get a flat lie anywhere along that, and the green slopes away from you. So really there's no easy out. This is the only par 5 I've ever seen where the best players in the world would take a 5.
So the golf ball ends up in that first cut. It's a little bit less than 2 inches. You can see the golf ball. Should be able to get at it, but may not be able to control the spin. We'll see. Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he's thinking on that.
On the green, and a chance for birdie. Not a gimme, but well within his range. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Made a good run at birdie. He'll have to focus now. Try to walk away with the par. Been pretty good all day from this distance. Just trying to take care of business. Oh my goodness, he missed it. He missed the bunny. That's like missing a layup in basketball. Just a couple of feet. Bad news is, Frank, that's a bogey, but the good news, still has the lead.
Yeah, can't afford another, though.
From a long par 5 to a relatively short par 3. We're at the 13th at Oakmont, 183 yards. Frank?
Another hole because of the shape of this green that you're almost breaking down into 3 sections. That front little circle you can see, the bit in the middle or the bit at the back. You're trying to play to one of those 3 sections.
Ooh, nice play right there. That's in pretty close. Par yesterday. Now for birdie. Racking them and stacking them. That's 12 under par now for the tournament. Rich Lerner back with you at the 14th hole at Oakmont. And this is a hole that offers up a pretty good scoring opportunity, a short par 4 at 358 yards. No fairway here, this one in that rough. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Frank, how good was that just to get it on the green?
Well, from that shot there, you would have thought for sure that there was no chance he had of finding the green. That was some shot.
Wrong time to be leaking oil here at the 14th hole, Frank.
Well, to state the obvious, too, that was very makeable. That's the one you'd expect to make more often than not. That's going to hurt.
That's how you maintain momentum. You make those putts for par. Well, how about this hole, Frank? 499-yard, par 4 15th. All you want.
Oh, that's for sure. The church pews down the left. It's about 340 yards to get all the way past them, so that's not really an option. Bunkers down the right side, really, they tell you, you've got to somehow hit something in between both of those. And the reason why it's another fairway you want to hit is a long second shot. It's a little uphill to a green that, well, just like all the others, is going to take something special.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. Locked in on the read and the speed. That looked for all the world like it was dead center.
I've got no idea how that missed.
Clean this up with a tap. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Frank, this is a point in the round where you really need to summon your best stuff. Par 3 of 231 yards. You know the pressure's building. We're at the 16th hole. And you have a long iron in hand. You can't flinch. You can't take it halfway back and go. This has to be the complete swing, and you have to really have the nerve on this shot.
Yeah, this shot has to be hitting right out of the button, that's for sure. One thing to consider, though, in the back of your mind, it's always better putting back uphill. Well, uphill is actually from the back of the screen. So you actually can be a little braver on 16 than what you might think standing on that tee, because a little long is better than a little short.
Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
So a tester from 4 feet. Par here's fine, isn't it, Frank? 17th hole at Oakmont, par 4. Only 313 yards, and yet, Frank, it was so pivotal. The last U.S. Open played here in 2007.
It was pivotal for a lot of different reasons. Strategy being one. Some elected to go down the right side with just a mid-iron. Others went directly at the green, did not get the ball up and down. Furyk and Tiger Woods come to mind in that situation. You can see the green's just perched up there. If you do lay it up, you don't quite get a full look at this green because you have to lay it up down that right side. Well, we'll never know if that had gone in because it never made it. Even par currently.
Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it's going to hurt the course.
Well, that wasn't a gimme, but it sure made it look easy. Great finishing hole here at Oakmont, Frank, the 18th.
I remember back in 1994, this was the last hole in a U.S. Open ever played by Arnold Palmer. You couldn't pick a better finishing hole to win a championship or say farewell.
Good tee shot, right in the short grass. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Put a birdie on the card here yesterday, don't forget. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
Had to be a misread.
Trying to grind out a par here. Needs it. Always take that. Good par putt right there. Just a great putt and a great win. EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the start of the FedEx Cup playoffs. It's the opening round of the Northeast Invitational.
Oh, beautiful swing, and the result is every bit as good.
Oh, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. These winds have held up all day long, definitely playing a part in the shot making we're seeing out there today. Good swing, good shot yet again. Frank, not just a player, but an artist. Just beautiful work right there.
The only thing I can say, Rich, is that was Seviesque.
So they get it to 2 under with that birdie. Second hole here at Lighthouse. It's a par 3, 234 yards. Difficult hole, Frank, especially when the wind picks up.
It is, and you can see with that bunker on the right side, that's obviously the bailout area because the problem side is to the left of this green. That's where the cliff starts to run all the way down to the ocean. This is a very difficult par 3, not just because of its length, but because it's exposed to all of Maine's elements.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
How about this? Birdies at 1 and 2. We could be in for something pretty special today. Frank, I like the mix of holes as we start out here at Lighthouse Point. Tough par 4, then a par 3, and now a scoring opportunity with a par 5 at the third.
Scoring opportunity with... He goes after it like he is here.
Are you kidding me? Come on, you can't hit a ball that hard.
That is crushing it beyond all crushing. Oh, huge.
Ooh.
Huge with a capital H.
Busted that. Frank, this is a way to make golf easy when you can hit it that deep.
Oh, I'm going to say, I know that first number's a 3. I'm guessing the second one's a 2. Let's call it 320.
Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
Frank, this is the kind of start every player wants.
Yeah, swinging it well. Certainly hit the ball in the right place there, and that good thing too. He's actually putting well.
Now back over to the fourth. Frank, this is a very nice start to the round. Couple of birdies on the scorecard, looks extremely solid.
Yeah, it looks well poised actually to have a very good round today.
Outstanding tee shot.
Yeah, ball sitting up. You don't have to worry about the wind or anything there. You just take a full-blooded cut at the second shot from here.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
That is professional with a capital P right there.
That's stealing.
Now at the fifth here at Lighthouse Point, to par 4. Frank, what are we in store for?
When you stand on this tee, Rich, you don't see any fairway bunkers, but be careful. It can certainly fool you. The goal really with the Cliffs course is to find fairways.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good look at birdie. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this. Oh, another one goes in.
Moving on to hole number 6, par 3 of 198 yards. We are about 170 yards from the hole. That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. So with that make, now at 7 under par. 7th hole at Lighthouse Point is only 370 yards. Frank, are you happy if you walk out of here with anything other than birdie?
If you hit the fairway, you definitely should be looking at birdie, but the biggest problem here is to decide, Rich, what club to hit off the tee. You could hit a multitude of clubs here. Further up you go, the narrower this fairway gets.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up? It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Another par 3. We're at the 8th. It is only 165 yards. Sensational shot right there, Frank.
Oh, you start beating your chest after a shot like that. That's the best we've seen into this hole today.
Always nice to be comfortably inside that cut line. The wily golf instructor makes birdie. We move to the 9th hole and we begin to go inland, Frank. I'll miss some of the views along the ocean. I won't miss the nerves with the potential of a golf ball sailing off into the Atlantic Ocean. That said, par 5, you think about a scoring opportunity, but then I look at the scorecard and it says this is the number 6 handicap hole. That's pretty tough.
It is, and the reason why is there's trouble both sides of this fairway, and that's normally sand and cliffs, and the designer's really thrown the boat out, excuse the pun. We are on the coastline here. This whole dog legs to the left, and ideally you just sort of like to go fairway, fairway pitch. That's the prudent way to play the hole. But of course, everybody likes the chance to drive and reach the par 5 and 2. Miss, pay the price.
That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Wow. John Daly, take a back seat, big fella. How about that drive?
Is it stopped yet? It's still going.
That is a fantastic long shot.
There's no way he could hit that without a tail breeze. Surely that breeze had to help there.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Settles in over the putt. Racking them and stacking them. That's 12 under par now for the tournament. Now we go to the 11th hole, and this is a par 5, but it's actually shorter than the par 4 10th. This one comes in at 530 yards, and more evidence of the kind of creativity by the award-winning design team of Patel and Duncan.
That's right. Patel really is known to be the shaper. He's the one that makes all those interesting shapes of the bunkers. For example, here, nipping it in the fairway, making driver almost too much club or very, very risky, plus the front bunker there. Now, this is a great par 5. The reason why, it's reachable, it's tempting, but you don't know what you're going to finish up shooting on it.
Frank, that is how it's done.
Yeah, take a gross of those. That is a lesson in itself.
And now a chance for eagle. How about that? An eagle. Moving on to the 12th hole now. Par 4, 439 yards. Oh, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Frank, not overly long, but still a pretty good spot and in the fairway.
Yeah, that's in that 280 mark.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
That will be a great look at birdie. Shouldn't be a problem here. $15 under for the day. Well, well, well. What do we have here, partner? The par 5 13th, or is it a par 8? I can't tell.
It looks like a misprint, Rich. 702 yards, and not only that, too, they put the two fairway bunkers in a perfect place. Perfect place if they want to annoy your tee shot. It's going to take 310, 320 yards just to get past that. Then you've got a long, long way to go. And, of course, remember when you're on 10? This is the shared green. So 13 and 10, this is where they meet up again at the end of a long, long walk.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
On the green in regulation. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Now to the par 3 14th. It is 240 yards. What a golf course, Frank. I mean, this tests the best in the world. I'm talking about McIlroy and Jordan Spieth and Ricky Fowler. 700-yard par 5s and nearly 600-yard par 4s. This is all you want.
It certainly is, and that's why the total yardage of this golf course is nearly 7,700 yards. This par 3, just a beast at 240 yards. One thing you want to do, though, is avoid Lake Zimmer. It's a big body of water to the right. If anything, though, look at the green. It shapes a little to the right, so you can use that left side of the green, which is away from the lake. It's a smart way to play this.
Well, that's what separates the good players from the great players, the ability to get it that close from that kind of lie. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Rich Lerner back at Lighthouse Point with Frank Nobilo. We're at the 15th hole. Frank, a relatively short par 4, 387 yards.
Yeah, finally we get one under 400 yards. A little bit of trouble off the tee to be avoided. Bunker left and that little pot bunker on the right. But missed those. And really, this is a very much a scoring opportunity.
Be a little disappointed with that because it lands in the rough and it appears to be fairly thick over there. Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he's thinking on that.
Frank, you always talk about it not compounding the error, but here again, another shot from the rough.
Yeah, if you try again.
And getting ready for the putt. Good putt. Time to make a move, the closing stretch here at number 16, par 3, 241 yards. This one is definitely heading left. Looks like it is going to end up in the rough. Frank, better than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that looked like it was headed for that thick stuff the whole way, but a little fortunate. But then I guess you're allowed that in this game.
Well, that just brings a smile to your face, puts a little pep in the step when you make them from downtown. Now at the 17th, and Frank a chance to make a birdie. Who knows, with a couple of huge pokes, you could make Eagle 3. This is a pretty stout hole at a little bit more than 600 yards.
It is, especially if that breeze comes off the water into your face. But normally you're protected here because the hills on the left will block that breeze. Bunkers all the way down the right side, you can see that. But yeah, you're right, 2 big hits. You might just reach this par 5 and 2. Birdie, perhaps even eagle on a good day.
Right where they were aiming, in the fairway. Frankie could make eagle right here with a really good approach shot.
Yeah, well within his reach too. And Rich, if we just sit back and relax here, I think we're going to see perhaps a very good look at eagle coming up.
And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot.
It's no snap though.
Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
See if you can get this one to drop. Big birdie putt. That has to feel good. That's a birdie. We've made it at last to the 18th, partner. What a finishing hole.
It is. It's a tee shot you have to respect. That fairway goes on that sort of 60-degree angle towards the left, so you have to know how far you fly the ball, and of course you can't afford to miss hit your tee shot. But a good tee shot, let's talk a bit positive here. Good tee shot in the middle of the fairway, just going to leave you a short iron, and an excellent chance to finish with another birdie.
Second shot, good look at the green. This won't hurt him. On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Wow, what a putt. That is huge. Frank, you surprised to see that name on top of the leaderboard?
I am surprised to see the name, but not that style of golf leading. It was great performance, especially tee to green. You don't often see people start that quickly.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the start of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Northeast Invitational. That is massive off the tee.
Meters, yards, I don't care how you measure that. That's got to be, what, 300 meters, 325 yards, something like that.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Well, that's how you play the game, right there. Well, he's going for back-to-back birdies here, trying to jumpstart this round.
Some momentum moving in the right direction. Really solid stroke.
Now at the second hole here at Lighthouse, it's a par 3, 234 yards. Difficult hole, Frank, especially when the wind picks up.
It is, and you can see with that bunker on the right side, that's obviously the bailout area, because the problem side is to the left of this green. That's where the cliff starts to run all the way down to the ocean. This is a very difficult par 3, not just because of its length, but because it's exposed to all of Maine's elements.
In the hole, and a birdie. Frank, I like the mix of holes as we start out here at Lighthouse Point. Tough par 4, then a par 3, And now a scoring opportunity with a par 5 at the third.
Scoring opportunity with a good drive. Very thin fairway here, Rich. This hole is built for accuracy, and players off the tee, they're going to have to try and hit this fairway. Long fairway bunker runs almost the entire length of this hole, and it could act actually as a little helper, stop you going down by the cliff, because anything left, obviously, on that cliff line will go all the way down to the ocean.
Put a birdie on the card here yesterday, don't forget. These putts keep the round together.
Just making a mockery of the field now. Another eagle.
Greg, as we stand here at the fourth and look out, no mistaking where we're at. I know I'm having some lobster for dinner tonight.
Or some clam chowder. The best comes from this area. Well, actually, for the ocean, though, anything that strays a little left off this tee will find that ocean. And believe me, there's been more than one ball hit down there. Generous fairway, that's really the goal, in the tiniest of green. If you find the green, you're going to have a birdie putt. Very short one indeed. Repetitive is often sounds boring. This is just shot after shot, and it's anything other than that. Spectacular.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Now the fifth hole, par 4, 481 yards.
Find the fairway, and it's a fairly generous one, and you should have a shot where you want a nice lofted one over that front bunker to land softly on the green.
Interesting, with the almost space-age advancements in golf equipment, what with new, lighter materials, and with the increased focus on fitness and strength, players are hitting the ball longer than ever. That has forced architects to lengthen the golf courses without sacrificing integrity or the shot value of the original design. I mean, that's how the game is played, right there.
He's just making it look so easy. That birdie coming up, formality.
Trying to make yet another birdie. That's good work by the former PGA teaching professional, one of the best instructors in the country, with a birdie, and now inside the cut line. It's 180 yards now to the flagstick. Not a single weakness today. What a performance. Here we go. What a shot. Perfectly placed right next to the hole. Clean this up with a tap. So the dominant performance continues.
Yeah, we're watching two tournaments right now, the one at the top and the rest.
Par 4 7th, only 370 yards. Frank, decision to be made off that tee.
It is. I walked this hole, Rich, to the narrowest point of the fairway. It's 278 yards, and if you want to carry that left side, you're going to have to be strong, 300 yards. So really, I don't know if drivers to play, maybe even freewards too much. You might have to throttle back even further. So the hole might be short. You just might get a little bit of a longer second shot than what the scorecard would normally allow you.
Beautiful display of ball striking today. Really in control. And that's another GIR, green in regulation. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. Now another par 3. We're at the 8th. Frank, it's only 165 yards.
It is, but when you look at the green, you can see how narrow it is. Actually, the green is nearly a figure 8, so it's obviously the right number hole. Bunker's sort of short leftish and that little pocket area on the right, so it'll punish anything left or right, even though the hole's just that meager yardage.
Settles in over the putt. Oh yeah, he's made it for a birdie. We move to the 9th hole and we begin to go inland, Frank. I'll miss some of the views along the ocean. I won't miss the nerves with the potential of a golf ball sailing off into the Atlantic Ocean. That said, par 5, you think about a scoring opportunity, but then I look at the scorecard and it says this is the number 6 handicap hole. That's pretty tough.
It is, and the reason why is there's trouble both sides of this fairway, and that's normally sand and cliffs, and the designer's really thrown the boat out, excuse the pun, we are on the coastline here. This whole doglegs to the left, and ideally you just sort of like to go fairway, fairway pitch. That's the prudent way to play the hole, but of course everybody likes to chance the driver and reach the par 5 and 2. Miss, paid price.
Just a case of a hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today. That's how you keep a round going, making from that distance. Now on the 10th hole here at the Cliffs at Lighthouse Point as we begin our trek homeward here at this magnificent golf course. This one puts a little fear into you, Frank. I'm looking at a par 4, and it's almost 600 yards. Help,
you're going to need it, that's for sure. And one of the things they've done to help you is a big elevated tee, so that'll at least chew some of the yardage off. Hopefully the prevailing breeze is also at your back, which might shorten that number up. Pretty generous fairway. Try and take those bunkers out of play with the big hefty club. And when you get on the green, you're going to realise there's 2 greens here, Rich. 10 shares the same green as 13.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Simple, solid, and he'll take it.
But one that you need to make.
Now we go to the 11th hole, and this is a par 5, but it's actually shorter than the par 4 10. This one comes in at 530 yards, and more evidence of the kind of creativity by the award-winning design team of Patel and Duncan.
Well, that's right. Patel really is known to be the shaper. He's the one that makes all those interesting shapes for the bunkers. For example, here, nipping it in the fairway, making drive or almost too much club or very, very risky, plus the front bunker there. You know, this is a great par 5. The reason why, it's reachable, it's tempting, but you don't know what you're going to finish up shooting on it.
Crucial eagle attempt on the way. Not a gimme, but well within his range. The center of this green off the black tees.
And if the breeze blows left or right, this hole plays very hard. One of the reasons why, just through the fairways littered with bunkers. So not only do you have to pick the right line, but somehow you've got to get that ball the right distance as that hole bends completely to the left. Rather interesting shaped green here at 12.
This is a stiff test, no doubt. Well, this could be good. Can't hide the flagstick from that man. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Can't wait to write those on the card. 1 below par. Chalk it up. It's a birdie. Well, well, well. What do we have here, partner? The par 5 13th, or is it a par 8? I can't tell.
It looks like a misprint, Rich. 702 yards, and not only that, too, they put the 2 fairway bunkers in a perfect place. Perfect place if they want to annoy your tee shot. It's going to take 310, 320 yards just to get past that. Then you've got a long, long way to go. And, of course, remember when you're on 10, this is the shared green. So 13 and 10, this is where they meet up again at the end of a long, long walk.
Too bad, about 25 feet away. What an opportunity, a putt for eagle. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. This hole's been good to him. Birdie yesterday, trying for another one today. He's made it. On to the 13th, and Frank, I love golf courses where you run into something you've never seen before. I have never played a par 5 of 700 or more yards. Here it is. What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
Oh, that incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
So just a formality here. '15th hole, and Frank, a return to sanity. 387 yards, par 4.
Second easiest hole on the golf course. Bends a little to the left. Just avoid the sand left and that little pot bunker on the right. And you should be set up with a relatively short iron in to a green that really the only problem is if you go long.
Frank, that is position A.
Yeah, the tee shot was like silk, Rich. I mean, just sets up that second shot so beautifully.
Sensational shot right there, Frank.
Oh, you start beating your chest after a shot like that. That's the best we've seen into this hole to date.
Score that a birdie. Final par 3 on the backside. It's the 16th, 241 yards. Time to make a move as we are in the finishing stretch here.
When you give the scorecard a cursory look, you might think 240-something yards is a difficult hole, but this plays quite a bit downhill, so it plays more around the 200-yard mark. A fairly generous green, protected by the bunker.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Made par yesterday. This one for birdie. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
17th hole is another par 5, 613 yards. Frank, how do you play it?
He's going for a little extra. Just smokes it.
Good tee shot right in the fairway and plenty long. Playing his second shot here at the par 5. Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
Pretty good stroke right there. Just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, it's been quite a journey to this point, but here we are, the 18th hole at Lighthouse Point.
It looks like a dogleg left, or it should play like a dogleg left. You might stand on that tee and think that you can take the direct line.
You can't get there from here, can you?
Good old Maine terminology there. So the goal really is to somehow find that fairway down the right. And, of course, it all depends on how far you fly that tee shot on the line you take. From there on in, just a short iron and maybe a chance to get another birdie and finish with a smile on your face.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
That was a pretty nasty lie out of the rough. He did the right thing there, Frank. Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Well, that's how you play the game, right there. Getting set now over the putt. Bad news is, Frank, that's a bogey, but the good news still has the lead.
Can't afford another, though.
There you have it. The second round is complete. Another solid effort put together, and it shows on the scorecard.
And after 2 rounds, you really start to see not only who's playing well, but who's consistent.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the start of the FedEx Cup playoffs. It's third round coverage of the Northeast Invitational. That is a heat-seeking missile right there. Wow. Nice long tee shot there and a good lie, Frank. Second shot, good look at the green. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now. A great start.
Now at the second hole here at Lighthouse, it's a par 3, 234 yards. Difficult hole, Frank, especially when the wind picks up.
It is, and you can see with that bunker on the right side, that's obviously the bailout area because the problem side is to the left of this green. That's where the cliff starts to run all the way down to the ocean. This is a very difficult par 3, not just because of its length, because it's exposed to all of Maine's elements.
Go ahead and do that for birdie. Frank, I like the mix of holes as we start out here at Lighthouse Point. Tough par 4, then a par 3, and now a scoring opportunity with a par 5 at the third.
Scoring opportunity with a good drive. Very thin fairway here, Rich. This hole is built for accuracy, and players off the tee, they're going to have to try and hit this fairway. Long fairway bunker runs almost the entire length of this hole. And it could act actually as a little helper, stop you going down by the cliff, because anything left, obviously, on that cliff line will go all the way down to the ocean.
Here we go. This hole really sets up well for the player. Birdie yesterday, and a chance for another one today. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Oh my goodness, he just missed that. And that was almost tap-in distance. He has this putt for birdie. Always love to hear the sound of the bottom of the cup. Fourth hole, and looking for a quality start. It's 411 yards and a par 4.
No fairway bunkers or bunkers really to contend with here. Cliffs to the left and also water on that side. But one of the wider fairways on this front side made up for by a very small green.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Slight waggle, relaxed arms, ready to go. Frank, in the changing weather conditions, players have so many different options, don't they? Some might like to play it high, others might want to play it a little lower along the ground.
You've really got to be on your toes today because of that, Rich, and really that's what separates the men from the boys, so to speak. You know that any mistake you make can obviously be magnified by the wind conditions, but conversely, it's a real good chance for skill to shine.
Now the fifth hole, par 4, 481 yards.
Find the fairway, and it's a fairly generous one, and you should have a shot where you want a nice lofted one over that front bunker to land softly on the green.
Frank, that one is long, and it is straight.
Well, in baseball, that's a home run. In golf, that is a huge advantage over everybody else that plays the game. You imagine just teeing up on every hole knowing that you've got 20 or plus yards over your fellow competitors?
Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. Moving on to hole number 6, par 3 of 198 yards. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. What a shot. Almost in. Good chance here. Currently at 5 under par.
Great, too.
Beautiful. Par 4 7th here at Lighthouse Point is only 370 yards.
All sorts of different scores here, Rich. If you hit the fairway, then obviously you're definitely going to be looking at birdie. But you stray or hit the wrong club off the tee, that's really what this hole's about. It's about club selection. You could hit a multitude of clubs off this tee.
Ready for his second shot, trying to knock it on the green. Making the game look very simple right here. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Birdie try again here today. Had a nice birdie on this hole yesterday. Good putt. Getting set at the 8th hole. It's a par 3 of 165 yards. Break it down for us, partner.
This gets really narrow in the middle of this green, Rich. That's sort of the biggest problem. Matter of fact, only had 12 yards from that left side to the right in the middle. And the green itself actually is 3 times that in length, 36 yards. So straightness is the key here.
Has it. Another par 3. We're at the 8th. It's only 165 yards, Frank. It's nice to roll in a 25-footer now and then. Those feel good. But still, there's nothing like hitting that perfect tee ball. Long and straight.
Yeah, you can puff out your chest, last to play, the advantage, holes shorter. Basically, the list goes on.
Just a case of a hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today. That was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back. This has exploded off the club face.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Oh, yeah, he's made it for a birdie. Standing over the ball here at the par 5 11th.
I'm loving that balance.
Right where they were aiming, in the fairway. Probably going to have to hit one more club here, Frank. A little bit uphill. Good swing, good shot yet again. That's one of the more depressing sights in golf. You hit a good one, and then it just sucks back too much spin off the green. On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. Trying to make yet another birdie. Stroke that with authority. 12th hole now, and Frank, the long hitters could have an advantage here.
If they want to take a very dangerous line over that left side, this is really where the shot maker has the advantage. That hole bending completely to the left. You'd like to hit a draw there, so use those bunkers down the through side of the fairway and then just sort of shape that ball towards the green. Interesting shaped green, really 3 different sections to this, and of course 3 bunkers, each protecting a different portion.
That will be a great look at birdie. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Now to the 13th hole, and Frank, this could make you quake in your soft spikes. 702 yards? At par 5, it might be a par 6 or a 7.
Well, I think a few people will make 6 or 7 here. You're right. This is a rarity in golf, 700 yards. So forget about any thought of even getting close to this par 5 and 2. Plus, just to add insult to injury, the 2 bunkers off the tee are perfectly placed. They're about 298 yards, smack bang in the middle of that. I doubt you can get past those, but you need a good drive, really, to try and leave yourself a short third shot.
Oh, this looks good.
Certainly is.
And it makes the green in regulation. This is a pretty long putt here. You'd be happy to get this to within 2 or 3 feet. You really want to take the stress out of that next putt. Always 2 components to the long lag putt, the speed, number 1, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. Like Ben Crenshaw right there, just so smooth.
I've played before.
Now at the par 3 14th, over another body of water, Frank, you could make some big numbers on this golf course. I would think if you walk out of here today having shot under par, you have to be really happy.
Certainly is big boy golf playing around the cliffs at Lighthouse Point, Rich. And this is another example here at this beefy par 3, 240 yards. You can see Lake Zimmer protects the front of this green and to the right. That's obviously where they get all their irrigation water from. But there's enough green left of the flag here. That's really what you've got to be looking at, that front left section.
Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
Yeah, you wonder what he's thinking on that.
And he's made the green. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Good work right there. He'll settle for par. 15th hole, and Frank, a return to sanity. 387 yards, par 4.
Yeah, second easiest hole on the golf course. Bends a little to the left. Just avoid the sand left and that little pot bunker on the right. And you should be set up with a relatively short iron into a green that really the only problem is if you go long. Oh, he is winding this one up. Doesn't have the power though. Can a ball explode.
That is big. I mean, really big. Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Birdie here yesterday, time to do it again today. Simple, solid, and he'll take it.
But one that you need to make.
Time to make a move, the closing stretch here at number 16, par 3, 241 yards. And another fun hole here at Lighthouse Point. It's the last par 3 on the back nine as we begin this closing stretch. 241 yards downhill, par 3 16th. So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot.
It's no snack though.
Frank, this is a player in full flight right now.
It looks too easy right now.
17th hole is another par 5, 613 yards. Frank, how do you play it?
Only the longest hitters can get here in two. It's two big hits, that's for sure. S-shaped fairway, so if you can't reach the par 5 and 2, you can still plot your way down there for a nice little pitch, and really great opportunity to get one back off the scorecard.
That's a good start to the hole, right down the middle. Now the second shot to the par 5. Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Frank, you're in the business of analyzing golf shots.
I don't want to see that one again. I mean, this skill, and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position. Continues to amaze, yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Frank, as we arrive here at 18, I'm thinking about what we so often hear up here in New England. You can't get there from here, or can you at this par 4 finishing hole? Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Just a couple of feet. And he has it for birdie. That wraps up the third round. Just one more to go before we crown our champion.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm looking at my crystal ball, Rich, but that champion that we see tomorrow might be the one just sitting at the leaderboard on top of it right now.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the start of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Northeast Invitational.
There's something about a well-hit shot.
Those are good numbers right there. 3-2-0. 320 yards, just crushed it in the fairway.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
That one was running so hot. This requires a lot of speed through the ball. Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. No problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
Now on the tee at the par 3 second, it's a long one. This will require a pure strike. Now at the second hole here at Lighthouse, it's a par 3, 234 yards. Difficult hole, Frank, especially when the wind picks up.
It is, and you can see with that bunker on the right side, that's obviously the bailout area because the problem side is to the left of this green. That's where the cliff starts to run all the way down to the ocean. This is a very difficult par 3, not just because of its length, but because it's exposed to all of Maine's elements.
Rich Lerner alongside Frank Novelo back with you at the third hole here at the Cliffs, and this is a hole that offers up a chance to put a red number on the board, Frank.
It certainly does. A good drive finding this very narrow fairway will certainly give you the opportunity to reach the green in two. Stray a little left, either with the drive or the second, and all of a sudden you might realize this par 5 has teeth. Well, with a good shot here, Rich, this eagle on the cards, hole very reachable from where he is.
Don't get many opportunities like this. This is a good place to take advantage. Really in control of this hole. Birdie yesterday and another opportunity on the way. Makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under for the round. And Frank, this is just an absolute bludgeoning right now. An eagle and the lead widens. Frank, as we stand here at the fourth and look out, no mistaking where we're at. I know I'm having some lobster for dinner tonight.
Or some clam chowder. The best comes from this area. Well, actually for the ocean, though, anything that strays a little left off this tee will find that ocean. And believe me, there's been more than one ball hit down there. Generous fairway, that's really the goal, and the tiniest of green. If you find the green, you're going to have a birdie putt. Very short one indeed.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on the easy birdie.
Birdie try again here today. Oh, yeah, he's made it for a birdie. Now the fifth hole, par 4, 481 yards.
Find the fairway, and it's a fairly generous one, and you should have a shot where you want a nice lofted one over that front bunker to land softly on the green.
Now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. With that ball sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
Oh, that incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Moving on to hole number 6, par 3 of 198 yards. Now at the sixth hole, it's a par 3, just under 200 yards. Where's the challenge here, Frank?
Well, you've got to love that bunker on the left side, Rich, especially because it's shaped like a letter L. You've got to fly that. Green's not too deep. So really the challenge is trying to flight that ball in amongst the breeze should it kick up.
And getting ready for the putt. That's how you keep a round going. Make them from that distance. Par 4 7th, only 370 yards. Frank, decision to be made off that tee.
It is. I walked this hole, Rich, to the narrowest point of the fairway. It's 278 yards. And if you want to carry that left side, you're going to have to be strong 300 yards. So really, I don't know if drivers to play, maybe even freewoods too much. You might have to throttle back even further. So the hole might be short. You just might get a little bit of a longer second shot than what the scorecard would normally allow you.
What a shot. I mean, almost in. Just a little tap in here. He's made it. Another par 3. We're at the 8th. It's only 165 yards, Frank. This one has a chance to be close. Well, that's how you play the game. Right there. He's putting for birdie now. We move to the 9th hole and we begin to go inland, Frank. I'll miss some of the views along the ocean. I won't miss the nerves with the potential of a golf ball sailing off into the Atlantic Ocean. That said, par 5, you think about a scoring opportunity, but then I look at the scorecard and it says this is the number 6 handicap hole. That's pretty tough.
It is, and the reason why is there's trouble both sides of this fairway, and that's normally sand and cliffs. And the designer's really thrown the boat out, excuse the pun. We are on the coastline here. This whole dog legs to the left, and ideally you just sort of like to go fairway, fairway pitch. That's the prudent way to play the hole. But of course, everybody likes the chance to drive and reach the par 5 and 2. Miss. Pay the price.
Put a birdie on the card here yesterday, don't forget. Continuing to play well, a birdie. So 9 holes down here at the Cliffs at Lighthouse Point. Rich Schroeder alongside Frank Novelo. Checking out this 10th hole, Frank. Is this a typo? 592 yards, but it's a par 4, not a par 5. What gives?
The reason why that tee shot's severe elevation, so we can at least sort of chew 30 or 40 yards off that number. But I'm not saying this hole's short, that's for sure. So that bunker just at the start of the fairway on the left certainly comes into play. The other feature, or interesting feature here at 10, is the shared green. This green shares that little piece of property with 13, just divided by that little pot bunker in the middle. This looks like it's going to find the target.
Ooh, nice play right there. That's in pretty close. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Continues to roll it very well all day long. Now we go to the 11th hole, and this is a par 5, but it's actually shorter than the par 4 10th. This one comes in at 530 yards, and more evidence of the kind of creativity by the award-winning design team of Patel and Duncan.
That's right. Patel really is known to be the shaper. He's the one that makes all those interesting shapes of the bunkers. For example, here, nipping it in the fairway, making driver almost too much club or very, very risky, plus the front bunker there. Now, this is a great par 5. The reason why, it's reachable, it's tempting, but you don't know what you're going to finish up shooting on it.
What a shot. Setting up for an eagle here. These putts keep the round together. That's the idea. Just knock it in. Standing over the ball here at the par 5 11th. 12th hole now, and Frank, the long hitters could have an advantage here.
If they want to take a very dangerous line over that left side, this is really where the shot maker has the advantage. That hole bending completely to the left. You'd like to hit a draw there, so use those bunkers down the through side of the fairway and then just sort of shape that ball towards the green. Interesting shaped green, really 3 different sections to this, and of course 3 bunkers, each protecting a different portion.
That is classy.
A lot of chance of going in.
Birdie here yesterday, and to do it again today. On to the 13th, and Frank, I love golf courses where you run into something you've never seen before. I have never played a par 5 of 700 or more yards. Here it is. Frank, right where you want to be.
Wouldn't be better if it was on a tee.
Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5, his second shot. That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Safely aboard. Just a tap in to finish the hole. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Now at the par 3 14th, over another body of water, Frank, you could make some big numbers on this golf course. I would think if you walk out of here today having shot under par, you have to be really happy.
Certainly is big boy golf playing around the cliffs at Lighthouse Point, Rich. And this is another example here at this beefy par 3, 240 yards. You see Lake Zimmer protects the front of this green and to the right. That's obviously where they get all their irrigation water from. But it's enough green left of the flag here. That's really what you're going to be looking at, that front left section. Good read, good line, well played.
The round continues at Lighthouse Point, and Frank, the 15th hole is a par 4, only 387 yards. Frank, did you hear the sound of that coming off the club face?
It was like a cannon.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, that's a formality now.
Everybody loves him. Birdie on the card. Time to make a move, the closing stretch here at number 16, par 3, 241 yards. Well, this could be good. That will be a great look at birdie. Locked in on the read and the speed. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Well, Frank, I love this par 5 17th. Not only is it fun to play, but if you head over the Juniata Crossway Bridge ahead, you can find Brent's Lobster Shack, which is one of the best lobster rolls I have ever had. And you know, they specialize in that up here in Maine. But what a hole. Great line. What a great shot. He has really hit it a long way. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Crucial eagle attempt on the way. Might want to check the GPS on a putt this long. So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. Birdie try again here today. There you have it. Well done. Great putt.
Well, at last we're at number 18, and Frank, I have really enjoyed this golf course. And now when you see the lighthouse in the distance, it really makes it that much more special.
It is. The beacon will always take you home. And speaking of home, this finishing hole, it bends to the left. A good tee shot will somehow find the fairway and just leave you a short iron in. And, of course, you make 3 here, and then that smile's going to light up like a beacon.
What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
Oh, that incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. That has to feel so good. A big championship victory. Frank, it's been quite a journey to this point, but here we are, the 18th hole at Lighthouse Point.
It looks like a dogleg left, or it should play like a dogleg left. You might stand on that tee and think that you can take the direct line.
You can't get there from here, can you?
Good old Maine terminology there. So the goal really is to somehow find that fairway down the right. And, of course, it all depends on how far you fly that tee shot on the line you take. From there on in, just a short iron and maybe a chance to get another birdie and finish with a smile on your face.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the second leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today it's live opening round coverage of the Deutsche Bank Championship. Right where they were aiming, in the fairway. Second shot, good look at the green. On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
And with that birdie, into the top 25 on the leaderboard. Par 5 second hole, 540 yards. Birdie opportunity, Frank?
Birdie or eagle, but that second shot all the way across water. So you're going to have to hit a good tee shot to go for this par 5 and 2.
That is just a beautiful shot. 190 yards now for this second shot. Well, look out. This could be wet, Frank.
It's heading towards the hazard.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all of that?
He has this for eagle. Don't know if it's good enough for a win, but that is good enough to make the highlights of the night. An eagle, Frank, and some movement on the leaderboard.
That'll feed the wife and kids.
Frank, you've talked about this sort of New England feel they gave this golf course when they remodeled it. This is a pretty good example here at the third hole.
Yeah, that stone wall behind just sort of makes the golf course look like it's been there forever. They have tweaked the green a little bit on that left side, created a little bit of a ridge. You can sort of play the ball off that if you know where you're going.
That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look.
That was cruel. That looked like it was certainly going in.
Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it's going to hurt the course.
We have already begun. Let's pick up with the action at hole number 4.
Couple of birdies already on the card. Still early, Frank, but we've seen some solid play.
This is exactly how you want to start the first round of the tournament, Rich.
That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. That was not a very good read right there. Shouldn't be a problem here. Well, you could see he's just disgusted with that effort. So just a formality here. Knocks that putt in for par to stay at 3 under. Now on to the 5th, and Frank, a pretty challenging par 4.
Yeah, gentle dogleg to the left. There's a short bunker on the right. That's not really in play. You can just see that one on the left. Ideally, just want to hit something around 330 yards to this very difficult green.
Wayward from the tee, and this one is headed for the rough, Frank. Frank just into that first cut.
Yeah, it's sitting up. Really, this isn't too bad a situation.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. That's a good birdie right there. And to 4 under par for the championship. This is one of the most challenging holes on the golf course, Frank. 465-yard par 4 6th.
Yeah, just hit your tee shot in between those two trees. You don't have to be too aggressive. You really do have to hit this ball in the fairway because that green is tucked very close to the water.
Beautiful rhythmic swing right there and right down Peachtree. Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Knocks it up on the green. It is about 28 feet away from the hole. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
And getting ready for the putt. Now in the top 5 after that par. Frank, now a big par 5, the 7th hole.
Yeah, there's an interesting feature on this par 5. About 100 yards short of the green is that huge cross bunker. So a good tee shot, that shouldn't be a problem. Stray a little, and then your mind is definitely on that.
Well, that was a beautiful drive, Frank. Really good position to take advantage.
Sitting up beautifully in the fairway.
Nice position, short grass, second shot. We just saw a player in total control of what he's doing. didn't miss a green in regulation all day long. Goes to 6 under par for the tournament. What a display of golf. Now to the par 3 8th. And Frank, what's the best way to go here?
Hit your best, and then you're looking at making 2.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
That is classy.
I had a chance of going in.
Just a couple of feet. Now to 7 under par. Frank, I love a hot dog and a soda at the turn. How hard is it to take a giant bite out of this 9th hole? Looks tough.
It is. Everything sort of bends where those 2 bunkers are, and they're sort of 350 yards to get past that. And there's an annoying little bunker that's about 30 yards short of this green. So you have to be precise with both the first and the second shot. Happiness is a long, 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 long walk after that one. This looks like it's going to find the target.
Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. Setting himself up for a good weekend, the wily golf instructor makes his birdie. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back. Rich, there's great drivers of the ball. We've seen Norman, Necklace over the years, but that there is just excellent. Lovely full turn, plenty of power, and just piped it.
Made it look easy right there, and he's such a good-looking player. When he's dialed in, swinging the way he is right now, just a pleasure to watch. On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. 11th hole here at TPC Boston. Frank, this is a stout par 3 at 231 yards.
Plays a little bit uphill, and that big gaping bunker just short right. Have to avoid that. And it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
12th hole now, looking at 461 yards on this par 4.
It doesn't look like there's much trouble off the tee, and that's because the trouble's with the second shot, that hazard to the right of this green.
Great strike and a great result. Sitting up, good chance to attack the flag. Ready for his second shot, trying to knock it on the green. What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
That incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Pretty much doing everything right this week. 11 under for the tournament. And another par 4 here at the 13th TPC Boston.
This is a slugger's paradise. Plays much longer than its 450 yards uphill. Big carry with the tee shot. That second shot's not exactly short either. Rich, that was a heat-seeking missile. That is out there.
And they make it look so easy, and we know it isn't, but when you hit T-balls that long and that straight, it does make the game kind of simple. That is a tremendous shot right there. Touch and nerve. He had it all, and he has the bottom of the barrel. Frank, the 14th, this is a dogleg left, 495 yards. Another case where the driver will set everything up.
But you have to avoid those mounds on the left. They'll just snag your ball.
Excellent looking shot here. Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Frank, downhill shot here. Will he have to take it just a little bit easier?
Yeah, be careful with the ball position as well. If you play the ball too far forward and try and scoop it, it's not going to work. Well, this is straight at it.
That's a really good line. Big swing right there. A great result. And now a chance for a big swing in momentum with an even coming up. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Back here at the par 4 14th, ready to tee off. This is a big dog leg to the left. 495-yard hole, Frank.
Yeah, don't try and hug that left side too much. There's a bunch of little mounds, and the chances of getting a good lie there, next to none. That's an absolute beauty.
Second shot. Good look at the green. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot.
It's no snack, though.
Great shot. Get the birdie. Character, don't you?
Yeah, that stone wall now protects that sort of two-tiered green. And it sort of showcases the golf course. It just fits in beautifully with what Hans and Faxon have done to the golf course.
Superb shot.
Well, that's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Looking to make a move. His putt for birdie. Simple, solid, and he'll take it.
But one that you need to make.
Frank, the 17th here at TPC Boston underwent quite a radical change.
Yeah, that renovation and that redesign that they did, it changed the character of the hole, but they still kept that big mound in the middle of the green. So that second shot is still punishing if you misjudge it.
And players nursing a lead, they might want to think about playing it safe down the right side, but if you're trying to make up some ground, you could try to fly the church pews that divide the fairway into two sections, and that would give you a nice short wedge in.
Yeah, give you a short wedge in, but really the risk, is it worth it?
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
That is superbly executed inside of 5 feet. Just a sensational approach shot. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Frank, the 18th here at TPC Boston, for whatever reason, generates quite a bit of buzz, doesn't it?
It does. The longer hitters, obviously, they lick their chops. They're having a chance to make this green in two. But if you find one of the fairway bunkers, the addition of that pot bunker for the layup, that just makes that decision that much more difficult.
He has just hammered this drive here at the 18th, and now he is in a really good position to make a birdie here in the final hole.
in the direction of the sand.
It looks like it. He just missed the bunker. And his third here at the par 5.
Well read. Rich, in that great opportunity, name on top of the leaderboard. It is only round 1.
Good place to be. NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the second leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today it's live second round coverage of the Deutsche Bank Championship. Nothing to argue about there, right in the fairway. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. This one just requires a little bit of focus. That's not how you picture it, Frank, when you step on that first tee.
No, you'd like to go back to that first tee right now and start again.
This putt for par. So has the par. Moving on to the next hole, and the lead, Frank, is very much intact. Frank, they renovated the par 5 second back in 2010. What'd they do to the hole, and how does it play now?
Well, they changed the green, especially the left side. There's a huge mound there now. It's still a driver off the tee, but before you could bail out on the left side, you can't bail out anymore. It's a devilish of a chip over that mound.
Those chocolate drop mounds give the course a really nice look.
Yeah, they just pop. And you can see them, and you know that they're problematic.
And from the fairway for his second shot here. Really in control of this hole. Birdie yesterday, and another opportunity on the way. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Well, he's going to beat himself up on the way to the next tee. You don't miss those putts. This hole's been good to him. Birdie yesterday, and trying for another one today. Beautifully done. Nice birdie. Now to the third hole. It's a par 3. What are we looking at, Frank?
Well, really, just keep your eyes away from that bunker on the right. That sort of snags many a golf ball.
That was a solid strike and a good result. See if he can get something going here. 2 straight birdies. Wow, what a birdie. Frank, at 298 yards, the fourth is reachable for just about every professional. What might scare them off?
Well, that bunker on the left, that's really actually a chance to showcase your skills. And that's where you realize how much better professional golfers are. A good bunker play, especially on a hole like 4, and then you will get well rewarded.
This is a great place for a fan to watch, isn't it?
It is. You see so many different short shots around this green. Bunker shots from the left side. If you hit it over the back on the right, the little bump and run through the little valley in the green. Fun hole to watch.
Perfectly placed tee shot will set up an eagle opportunity, but then you see quite a few bogeys made here as well.
Yeah, if you stray a little bit, leave the ball too far short, then you have to play that pitch across the bunker. That's no fun.
Oh, no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is gone.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
No problems early. Looks good.
It does look good. This bodes well. We might be in for a very, very low round today. Ah, nice.
Looks good. And now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. That ball's sitting up. You can bring it in high. You can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Tugged that one a little bit offline to the left. And he'll pay a bit of a price because that rough is fairly thick. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par. I mean, this skill and that